Working on the rigging for the Titanic. I've already done 1 and 2 funnel, 3 funnels and 4 funnel are now ready. I'm about to start the rigging on the 4th funnel first because I want to do that, then the ship's boats, and this bit here has these weird looking legs which go across these sections, so that probably has to go in last. They've got a, you can't probably see it in the video, but they go up with this pipeline here. I'll have to forgive this. I don't think I can get it any better. Oh, that might be better. I'm working in front of a window, so you can't really see it very well. And then I've got the light there, and if I take too much light away, you won't be able to see it at all. No, that's not too bad. So the first thing is got each of these little bits are on the deck, so I need to take these out first. These are the eyelets. One tie-in machine. Eyelet goes in there. Now these, I can't really get it much closer, unfortunately. Let's see if I can get it a bit closer so you can see. So, line through. I'm not doing any fancy knots. A simple 2-turn. When I can find the bits. A simple 2-turn. Slip knot. Go through that. Pull that tight. One line. So that's the first bit done. A little bit of glue on the end of that knot, just to keep it in place. And then snip that off very carefully. This is where I usually end up snipping too much off when it comes off. Now, so that's the first bit tied up. So first line. I do these one at a time, I don't bother messing about with them. So I've got to dry fit it first. That fits fine. Bit of glue on. I've got a bit of tub of glue beside me there. Bit of glue on, get that stuck on my finger. I put the glue in a tub. This is super glue. I put that in a little old paint tin. It's easier to use. Now, surprisingly, that actually goes very quickly. It doesn't take long to actually dry. You just got to get it through. Because when you're pulling this tight, you're pulling it against the deck anyway. You can't really see that very well, can you? This is where I need to invest in a PC. And a little bit of glue on the back of this. Just hold that there for a few seconds. It only takes a few seconds for that glue to dry. And then the top of the funnel, once again, no fanciness, simple knot, pull it tight, and then a bit of glue just to keep it in place, very carefully, cut that off, and there's the first line on. Let me see if you can see that. You can't see it because I can't really get any closer to the camera. But there you go, first line on. So I can move it backwards and forwards like that for you. Now, a lot of these models of Titanic are usually rigged with black thread, so you can see it obviously. And the Titanic never had black thread, of course, and it's the stays for the funnels weren't black. They were with a steel rope. So this is grey thread to represent the steel rope. It's painted a little bit black at top and bottom to represent the I think it was like a bitumen or something they put on to protect it. And then once they're done, and like I say, you can just about make them out on the picture. So you can just about, let me carefully move that, you can just about see there you go, you can just about see the thread there. Now that looks far more realistic than black thread. And with the naked eye, far better. Now the ship's boats, the lifeboats, these are stupid little things. The davits are so close to the top of the boat, you just can't do anything with them. I'm using a very light thread on that one to represent the rope, or try and represent the rope that would have been the holding the lifeboat in place. Let's get the second one done. And then once this is done, these two funnels are rigged. And then once I've got I've only got the last to do then, and then it's finished. 2.5 years and it's finished. It's amazing how quickly it takes, how long it takes, how the time goes by. Now, there's not masses of photo etch in this kit, but there is photo etch in it. You can't really see it. If you look at the windows inside there, on this kit, those windows are coloured card, which is not terrible. It's not brilliant, not by any stretch of the imagination. So I've replaced all of that with photo etch. Now, oh dear, I didn't quite get that. Knew it. That's what you get for talking and trying to work, isn't it? Now I've forgotten what I was doing now. Oh dear, made a right picture of that. Now what was I saying? So I've done a little bit of photo etch with the ship's boats. So with the windows, I'm talking, I'm trying to do this at the same time. And that's not too bad. I'm a bit strange with my modelling and how I do it. I'm not a lover of photo etch. Well, I can't stand photo etch. It really sort of is a bug. But at the same time, I quite enjoy putting photo etch on. I don't know what it is, there's something about it that makes it interesting to put on. Once you've got it on, it does enhance the kit, I've got to admit. But you can, I mean, this has not got much photo etch on it. This has only got a little bit of photo etch on it. So therefore, it's not exactly taken me forever to do the photo etch. But some kits, of course, the photo etch is just phenomenal. You get tons of it. After I've completed this, I'm actually working on the Queen Mary. But once I've finished the Queen Mary 2, I've then got a model of King George to do. King George, I knew it. HMS Hood to build. And I've actually brought an upgrade kit for that from, I couldn't get it onto this one, from MK Designs. And that just has tons of photo etch in it. I mean, loads of photo etch. So then you come to the theory, you come to the bit, do you really need to use photo etch on these models? You know, is it essential? Probably not. But at the same time, it does make them dentist tool. Dentist, absolutely brilliant, by the way, for making opening the holes up if you like that one just closed up a bit. Absolutely brilliant little tool for doing that. Can't recommend it enough. It's a bit fiddly this because you're trying to get around this thing and you can't get into there because of the davits being in the way. But the davits had to go in place first anyway, so I could work out exactly where stuff was going. But sometimes you just get to a point where you can't see the hole that you're putting. You can't find your hole, mate. This is what happens with this. Every so often something happens. You get a little bit of glue on, fills the hole in, and will the pin that was stuck in there go in? Not a hope in hell. You got no chance of it going in there. You have to prat about with it. You have to get it stuck in. You need a little bit of glue on so that once it's in, this pin is not going back in there. Well, this is absolutely unbelievable. I do not believe this rubbish. Now that pin came out of there without any problem at all. Now it won't go back in. And now that's come out anyway. Right, got to rethink this one, aren't I? Because that one ain't going in. Absolutely typical, isn't it? What happens when you do a job, you use a pin, and for some reason it decides it's not going to go in there. Can somebody explain to me why this happens? Because I don't know why. I don't even know if I've got the right hole there. Right, let's get rid of that pin. Right, let's try again. Now, the first job to do is to get this thing sitting in there. Absolutely unreal, isn't it? The joy of modelling. Right, now it's gone in. I love it when something is dry fitted and is absolutely perfect, and then you come to glue it in place. And suddenly this dry fitted part that was no problem at all decides, no, actually, I don't think I'll bother fitting. I think I'll take the mickey out of here. Just like this piece of cotton is taking a mickey out of me because I can't find the end of it. Unbelievable. Absolutely unbelievable. Now, somewhere on there's a beginning of this cotton line. This is absolutely unreal, man. How can you lose the end of the piece of thread? How can you lose the end of it? Why does it do it? Because I don't know why it does it. Right, let's try again. So, a simple two-turn knot, two-turn slip knot. Now, hopefully this one won't make me look an idiot. Hopefully this one will go in all right. That's that. Now, I use quite a bit of thread just in case. Probably don't need to, but best to, I suppose. A little bit of glue. There you go. I'd rather you went right the way down. No, it's going to decide. No, it's going to decide. I think I'll take the mickey out of you with this one. It's decided. That will not go down. I reckon what's happened here is this is probably against the bulkhead. It won't go down, will it? unbelievable, man. Absolutely unbelievable. There you go. Just has to take the mickey, doesn't it? It just, you know, I mean, got a big clue on that. It's just unreal. It really is. This is probably why I don't record these things, because it takes so long to do them. You know, you've usually filled up the hole with this with a bit of paint or glue. Only takes a little bit of. I paint them. I put them on and then paint them. So it just needs that one little bit of paint in it. And then the thing will decide that actually, no, I don't think I'll have a go in there for you. I think I'll make you fret about with you. I'm sure that that's what these things decide to do. And then a little bit of glue. Loosen it, pull it. Now, like I say, you can't really see the thread very well, but it does look good in real life. It looks very, very good in with the naked eye. But that's, you can probably see some, you might be able to see some of this where I've maybe put a bit of photo etch on. But what you'll find is that I'm not, I'd like, as I say, I'm not a lover of photo etch, but I enjoy doing it. I don't know why. Because if you look at my photo etch, especially on the funnels and the ladders, I'm not going to win any prizes for it. I won't be winning any competitions for my photo etching. But then again, when it's finished, it looks not too bad. So it actually comes out quite well with what photo etch there is. And there's actually, this is the thing about photo etching, there's a lot of it on this model. There you go. There's a lot of photo etch on this model, but most of it is actually inside the deck here, so you can't really see into there and see the windows that have all been photo etched. Which brings into question, do you need to do it? Because this is the problem with photo etching, and especially if it's on the outside, because then you're not going to see it. As soon as you put photo etching on the outside, once you cover it over, once you paint it over, that's it, it's invisible. Right, let's make sure this one fits first. Now it fit perfectly there, if you've probably noticed. Oh, there you go. So that's another one done. I reckon this probably takes about an hour to do one of these funnels. Perhaps a bit more. Sometimes it can take a little bit more, especially if you prat about like I did with that last bit of thread. Because every so often the thread will just decide, yeah, I don't think I'll bother. I think I'll mess you about. I'm pretty sure there's somebody somewhere has decided, right, I know what I'll do. I'm gonna really take the mickey out of you. And I'm gonna make you look an absolute fool. But like I say, at the end of the day, it's actually surprisingly relaxing. It's amazing how relaxing this is. It takes time, but you know, I mean, you can get them fairly tight. And you come to this thing with the, as I say, with a photo etch. I'm not losing any. You can't really see that. I'll see if I can get this a bit closer. Oops! Oh, you bloody idiot! Now you see, I shouldn't have done that, should I? I've just knocked the bloody thing off of there. Look. Oh well. Oh well. You see, you can probably see the funnels there. I'm not going to win any prizes for that. And I've just knocked that off. Look at that. I've just knocked that railing off of there. Oh, well, isn't that brilliant? Eh? Isn't that brilliant? Just shows you. With what I should have done, I should not have put the railings on first. I should have left the railings until the very end. Because it's not the first time I've knocked one off, by the way. There you go. Simple repair. That didn't take long. Look, I'm back on now. Now I've just got to be careful that I don't knock it again. Now then, and this one's right next to it, davit. Now there are bits on here where suddenly the lines go very wide apart. At first I thought, well, I'll be right, but on the plan it is correct. And the same with, now you probably can't see them, but the cranes that I've built, once again I haven't put them up. I put them in what would be a stored position. I don't particularly like the cranes up in the air. Doesn't really do anything for me. That just doesn't look good. So I've got the cranes as they would be if they were stored, which makes it a lot easier, and they look a lot better as well. You know, I think those cranes look tremendously better down like that than they do sticking up at. I think it was I think they were supposed to be like you know, but I just didn't like that at all. Just didn't look right. It's just something that just doesn't look right. It just doesn't go well with me. So this is the next one. Once again, let's see where it is. Where's the, oh, that came out. Now then. Oh, where's me hole? Right, now, oh, it's very close to that one, this one, I remember that. That's right, they were too close together. They were too close together and one distance apart. Probably because something was there on the deck. There might have been something that was there on the deck. This is based on, if I can find them. Let's see if I can find. See, there's the plans. There's the plans that are used for the deck. And there is, you see, there's a. They go in, and then there's a large gap across. There's a very large gap across them two, between the two boats. So whether that had something to do with the way the boats were, I'm not sure. I've got no idea. But what I must do, I don't know whether I can. I really must get a PC. I've not had a PC now for ages. So because of that, I find editing very hard. I tried using the YouTube editor, but trying to use that on the tablet, I don't know why, but I've watched YouTube, I've watched videos on YouTube on how to use it, but on the tablet, you just don't seem to be able to do anything with it. I do something and then I have to go back to somewhere, and it doesn't do anything. So therefore, I can't edit the videos, unfortunately. I watch these people doing this stuff on YouTube. I mean, I'm 25 minutes in now. I watch people doing it, and they do like an entire bit, an entire model. They build everything up in 50 minutes. But I was watching somebody the other day building some. It had nothing to do with this. It's just an example. I was watching somebody do a little bit of the. What was he building? I can't remember what he was building now. Oh, an aircraft, small aircraft on the Bismarck. He was building it up, and it's a 50-minute video, or 55-minute, whatever it is. And he builds this thing in about 10 minutes, you know. You think, bloody hell, man. How have you built all that up in 10 minutes? It's, you think, you know, that's how the professionals work, I suppose. Until I realised that what he's doing, every so often you see a little transition. And it's very subtle, but it's there as a transition. And then what I noticed, I hadn't noticed it before, he had a watch on. And I noticed his watch said 5:45. And then by the time he'd finished this little bit of video, this little bit of aircraft, and just a few little bits and bobs of photo etch on it, he brought his thing in and he put his hand down like, you know, and he put his hand so you can see the watch. And it's 10 to 9. Well, hang on a minute, that's taking you 3 hours to do that bit. Because you probably dry fitted, dry. You have to keep going backwards and forwards, fit and dry fitting them until you get it dead right. I thought, so that's where the editing comes in. You can do that, and it might take you 3 hours, but you can turn that 3 hours basically into a 10-minute video because you can edit all them bits out that you're taking so long on. With this, you see, I mean, that bit that I just did there before, where I lost it with the bit, had I been able to have edited that, wouldn't have been a problem because I would have just been able to edit that bit out, wouldn't I? I'm not sure how that works on voiceovers though, because obviously as I'm talking away, if I then edit, and I edit them bits out, you've no longer got the voiceover. So I'm not 100% certain on exactly how that works. It's I really need to look into it. So I'm not sure if people are doing this sort of thing, building the model, doing the bobs and bits, and then taking out anything that doesn't need to be there, and then putting the voiceover in later, and voicing it over. That's not going in there. Well, you got a big enough hole there, mate. Hey, once again, you see. Once again, it's a question of, I think I'll just take the mickey out of you on this one. Oh, I know it was this side. Let's go through the ladder. You know, I mean, and get wrapped around the debit. Let's do it that way. Eh? So you see, now you can see that triangle that you can see on the fin. I'll show you in close up in a minute. Once I've got it done, I'll show you in close up. And you'll be able to see what I mean. Because sometimes I look at the rigging on this, and I look at the rigging thing, and I think, oh, hang on a minute, is that right? Should it be that bigger gap? You know, why would you have a very large gap? between it because I can't see anything there. There's not really anything there that does anything with that gap. The boats, but the boats go on. These are the, let me just show you. Now these are the boats, the ship's boats, silly little things. These, I cannot work these out. I don't know how these work. This is the, you don't put what's it called now? It's a block, the boat block on the bottom. You don't put it right across as you would do on a normal boat. So if I, well done. So if I sit that on the deck with these pointing out, it won't fit. It just falls over. But if I put it on the deck with them towards the end, you know, it stays up. And these are, the edges are photo etched to represent the, I suppose the, what is that going on the top of the boardwalk, which would have been brown, and the rope going round it. So that's what I mean about photo etch. It's good and bad. With them boats, it's come out pretty good. In fact, it's come out very well. Now these finally get painted up top and bottom, as I say. On the ship, it had on the actual ship itself, it had a, I don't know what it was, bitumen or whatever it was, like a rubber compound at the top and bottom of the on this same thread, the what would represent steel rope is also used for the mast, for the standing rigging on the mast, for the main mast. Well, two masts, not a main mast, is it? It's the same steel rope was used, but there's 3 different types. Although I think at this scale, this is 0.5. 0.5 this one, which is the same as comes with the kit. The kit one that has a sort of beige colour, I suppose, which looks, personally, I think it looks silly. It's this is far more representative of what it would look like in reality. So that, I thought I'd pull a little bit more on then. This is a silly one because this one's got to go through there. But see, this is the beauty of this is that because these things are going in the deck, they're not glued in instantly, but because they're pulling against, that's inside the deck of course, so you're pulling against it. Hence the reason it's not pulling the eyelets out. They can't be pulled out because it's not being British. Even though they're only just slightly glued in, really, when you look at it. Same with the funnel. Although it's in solid, it's actually not. I've only put a smidgen of glue in it so that it doesn't end up being solid. So most of the, once you do the other side, it'll pull this side a bit tighter and vice versa. So you end up with a funnel that is roughly, I've got no idea what I was saying, by the way, because I'm working while I'm talking. It's silly, really. You end up with a funnel that is held in place with the rigging. Right, so there you go. So that's, I really must watch what I'm doing here, mustn't I? So that's that one rigged. As you can see, that's taken me 34 minutes. So 34 minutes and the funnel is rigged. But this is this big gap here, which looks a bit strange. I can't get it any closer really without knackering it. I've knocked them. What did I just bang then? I've knocked the propellers off about 6 times. So that gap with the big triangular bit there is represented. You see, I mean, so you can see it there. The gap is, which funnel am I looking at? I'm looking at this funnel here. So you can see this funnel, you can see the big triangular gap there. I don't know what it was for. This one's got the same here. There's a large boat there, so I can understand that one. But there's nothing that actually goes there. And there's nothing in there. So that's that funnel there rigged on one side. This is where it becomes really iffy now. Because now I've got to get the boat moved around. And then we're in. Now you can see the funnel's a bit better now actually. Now you can probably make up the ladders and the whistles going up there. But if you look closely at it, it doesn't bear any kind of well, I'm not going to admit to. I'm going to admit that photo etching of them ladders is not fantastically superb. If I put this in a model competition that said, "That's for you, mate. You ain't winning anything with that," yeah, forget that one. So it wouldn't win anything. But you can see the boats here. Now, on the actual model, on the kit, if anybody's building this or built it, the boat going over the side doesn't have anything here. He's just so down. That boat there, it hangs freely, literally. There's a little smidgen of glue just on the end of that boat. Just on the end of it, just in that little bit there, there's a little, see it moves, there's a little smidgen of glue. But in this kit, it doesn't supply you with anything to go around there. I only found it in a picture. And these davits, well, you can see how close the line is to the davit. So what I've used is 0.2 millimeter, 0.3 millimeter cotton nylon thread. It's sand coloured because the ropes were a sort of, well, I suppose that's almost like hemp. They were hemp. So that represents the colour. And all I've done is just taken them down. The thing with these ropes is they would have had what they call the fall for the boats to come down, obviously. Now, from what I can see of pictures, so I've seen quite a few pictures of the Titanic. The fall was here against the davit. It was in a little figure of 8 sort of looped line. Now I did think about making that up and putting a little figure of 8 line there against the davit, or putting it in as a coil, well it's a coil, and putting it in as a coil on the bottom of the deck. But at this scale, it just didn't work. It overpowered the davit, unfortunately. Also, on the pictures there's a really nice picture looking along the boat deck. Famous picture of the Titanic with this lady looking along the boat deck. And on that, you've got all the rope. You can see the davits are really, really sort of, just bear with me. Bear with me for 10 seconds. Right, now, so in them, with the kit instruction, if I follow the kit instruction, all I would do was just tie a piece of line there and there. I wouldn't do anything with it. It would just be there and there. Be a bit of line glue there, a bit of line glue there to represent the davit. But there would be no, like I say, no fall. Now this book is invaluable. This is an invaluable source. And there is a picture in here, so that's one. A nice picture here, looking along the boat deck. There you go. Now that is a really nice picture. Can't get it in shot because I've got the ship in the way. So you can see that now you can see how complex all this stuff is. You see how much rope there was in these, but you can see the bits going underneath the boat here. Well, I didn't have enough. The scale of this just doesn't warrant putting too much under there. But you can see it should have been with block and tackle. Once again, the scale wouldn't allow for block and tackle on that. And you can see the rope coils down the side of the davit. I think there's a better picture of them somewhere, but I'm not going to mess about trying to find it. I don't think I'll be able to find it that easy. No, it's not easy to find. But the coils are, they've got them coils there, which are very nice. But there's no way I'd be able to put coils on that. Like I say, I tried it, and with the best will in the world, I can't get such a small coil to give you the impression of the fall of the rope. But there's also these bits going across the top of the davits. Now you can see in that photo that they had something going across the top of the davit. Couldn't see what it was. Different material than all the rest of the material. So whether it was something that held the davits in place while the ship was moving, because obviously if the davit swings out, whatever that is would be holding it back. Now you can probably just about see as well. Now you now see all these windows along here. As you can see, if I can get it a bit closer without being stupid and damaging anything. Now you can see the windows there now. So these in the kit were mostly colour card. These are all photo etched windows. Every bit of them is photo etched. And they come from a place called Mini Brass in France. If anybody's building this kit or thinking of building it, it's an absolutely excellent collection of photo etch. The only bit I didn't buy from them was the longitudinal. With foresight, I should have brought the longitudinal for them. It would have looked better because I had all these columns going along the course. The Titanic had all these columns going down there. They've all been put in individually. So you can just about make out them. Well, you can see the cranes now. So you can see what I've done with the cranes, how I put them in down. And once again with the kit, you get a bit of cord. I don't know, I haven't got it lying around anywhere. And you just tie a bit from there to there. With this, I've put wire on, so it represents better the cable that would be used in the cranes. Also, it's got the little kit doesn't say anything about these legs that protect to the cranes. They're only put on loosely, as you can see. That one moved, and so they're just on it now. And what I've got to find is somewhere. The one thing missing off of this is a little smokestack that was. I think it was either this side or this side. I haven't got any spur anywhere, unfortunately, which is a shame. But it had a little smokestack there. It would have been nice to have found one of them. But this is all photo etched down here. There's a lot of photo etch on there, but the ladders that are here, that you can see, just about see, they're all not kit ladders. These don't come with a kit. These come from Mini Brass. Photo etched ladders. Book to do. And you can see the ladder. Well, like I say, I'm not going to win any prizes for that. But it looks alright. You can see the ladder there. You can see the whistle there. It doesn't look terrible. And at the end of the day, you've got to decide if you're building these models, I mean, some people will do a lot of huge amount of kit bashing, so to speak. Then I put 6 lines on that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh yeah, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Some people will do a lot of kit bashing on these models. I'm not into that. I just can't be bothered doing that. It just, to me, if that photo etch isn't super duper, so be it. I'm not bothered about it. The first funnel came out, well, pretty bad really when you think about it. You can't see many gaps through it. The second funnel was slightly better, but I bent it there. I couldn't get it back into shape. The third funnel, I was getting used to it then, and it was down by the fourth funnel. It's pretty good. That's not too bad. That's fairly straight and everything's in line. It could have done with having about 10 of these for you to dip, so you could do a demonstration on them, so you could actually try and do bits with them without having to, whatever it was I was talking about, without having to, see, once again I'm talking while I'm working, and I've lost my track now, I'm going mad. Old age, you see, catches up with you. Because the other thing now the other thing I love, I built a model of the HMS Victory many years ago. Unfortunately, I couldn't finish it. But I was all right with the rigging on that. I like doing a lot of stuff. My problem now, it's not massive, but my problem now at 70 plus is not only is my eyesight going, but also this is going. I mean that's not bad. It's fairly straight. But when I'm doing little tiddly bits, I'm like this, and I just can't do it anymore, which is a real bug. But this is my fourth. If you include the Victory, my fifth wooden model. But this is the fourth one that I've completed. The other two are in the living room. And I think after this, it's going to be. I'm not going to. I may possibly do another wooden model, but it's unlikely. I think wooden models now. The problem with a wooden model, this is 2.5 years, and it takes you nearly a year just to get the whole done. You've got to put so much effort into them. It's just so much. To do a wooden model is just so much now. Not money, time. Whereas a plastic model, when I sort of originally brought this kit, I had the money for this kit or the trumpeter kit, and it was a choice of which one I brought. It was deciding, right, which one do you buy? 250 scale wood or 200 scale plastic? Well, wood is always going to look better than plastic. The model is always going to look better in wood than it is in plastic. But the thing now is that today's plastic kits are so good. I mean, from what they used to be years ago, plastic model kits now are just phenomenal. The detail in them now is just out of this world. It's almost as good as some of the photo etch. It's you're not losing anything in a plastic model kit anymore like it used to be. This is I think the sixth, might be the fifth or sixth model of the Titanic. All the other ones I've been built. See, now that's pulling that side tight as well. So this is what I mean. The funnel is literally held in place with the rigging, which is good. And it's all a question of that's not pulled very tight, has it? I've tied that off too loose. You nitwit. Now, luckily, I might be able to get that with a bit of glue. That'll teach me to do that and talk, won't it? So that glue, oh dear, might just, oh no, that's all right, that's all right. I don't think I can undo it. Right, we'll have to see, wait and see on that one. That one's a bit loose as well. Should be all right. Not super duper good, that one, but it should be all right. So you have to sort of now drop that. And the chances are that's gone about 27 miles across the way. That's another thing when you drop things. You drop a bit and it decides actually, I'm not going to let you find me, I'm going to hide myself away somewhere. Because if you think you're going to find me, you can think again, mate. I'm on the floor and I'm staying on the floor. And I'm staying hidden. So, you know, I mean, at the end of the day, sometimes I wish I'd brought the trumpeter kit. Because I reckon at 200 scale, these things were big, you know, I mean, it doesn't seem like a lot. But some of the bits on here, which only look small, well, they are because they're 200 scale, and the trumpeter kit are quite large. And so you can see with the ship's boats and that are so much bigger, and the davits are so much better with the lines coming off that you can actually do far more. You can put far more detail in. You know, the ladders themselves going up the funnel are a lot more detailed in a 200 scale kit than in a 250 scale kit. But at the end of the day, I think, you know, sometimes I sort of wish I'd brought the trumpeter kit. But then this is a very nice looking model. You know, it says museum quality on the box, and it is museum quality, so long as you allow it to, as long as you don't let the little faults and foibles with it get to you. There are faults with it, as it's not a perfect kit. It could be a perfect kit, but unfortunately, Marty have decided, well, we're going to mess a few areas up. I suppose it keeps the price down. You can argue that by doing coloured card for the windows, it's going to keep the price down. So I suppose there is that. I suppose you can go down that road. But at the same time, it's not, it doesn't look good. You know, it's not terrible, but coloured card just doesn't look right. It's just silly. Which is why I replaced it with all that photo etch. But then, you know, I mean, the length of time to do these things is just unbelievable. You know, it's 2.5 years doing this. And so this is what I was saying. I think from now on, it's going to be a few plastic kits now. I've got the Ravel Queen Mary, which I'm in the process of building. I've got the hull painted on that now. I've dug out the portholes. I've added a few little bits. And that will look all right. And then I've got the trumpeter version of the hood. It is a massive kit. And my plan with that is to also buy the same 200 scale trumpeter kit, the Bismarck, so we've got the two together. But that's for another day. By the time I come to build them, I'll have to try and seriously try and get a PC back and look into editing software so that I can actually edit these videos. That way, I mean, this is now 55 minutes. So it's about 55 minutes to do each of the funnels. It takes about an hour to do each funnel. Probably a bit less if I hadn't messed about with that bit at the beginning. But it goes all right. You know, at the end of the day, it's going to look good. And then once you build these things, well, you just decide, right, why am I building it? Do I need all this photo etch? Do I need to put all this detail in? Well, that's a sort of a weird one, isn't it? Because, well, no, you don't need hundreds of pounds worth of photo etch. I brought the MK1 kit for the hood and I didn't realise how bad, not bad, how much there was in them kits. There is hundreds, thousands of parts of photo etch and the like. So you got to think, right, what am I building the kit for? Why am I building this model? What's going to happen to it when it's finished? Well, if you're going to build it and then decide, right, I'm going to, if you're building it on commission, you have to do it properly. You know, on commission, you wouldn't set those ladders like that. There's no chance. If you're building it to enter into model shows, and I'm not sure what the prices are, I'll have to look up one. I'll have to Google that at some point. Find out what it is for what you actually get for these models in a model if you win a model show. So this entered into a model show would get nowhere. The minute that the judges see those there you go. That's what you get for talking when you're not concentrating. That'll teach you, mate. This is why you don't talk and work at the same time. But with a model, if you went to, I don't know what you get in a model show, as I was saying. I don't know how many people, what videos you watch on YouTube, but if anybody's familiar with, I think his name is Steve, on the model, I think it's the model shed or the model shop, whatever it is. He's done an absolutely cracking model of the hood. I've got some really good sort of bits from there watching him do that, where I can sort of, which has helped me with this kit. Some of the bits he's done. You know, it's little bits and pieces here and there as he does things. Gives a little tip here and there. One is the glue. I've always put super glue onto paper. Well, actually, baking parchment, which holds it well. I'd love to know why that one's not gluing in. Well, there you go. So he does a massive, done an absolutely cracking job of the hood. If I could achieve that kind of thing, I'd be absolutely chuffed. But somebody had remarked on it on one of the comments. I think I'm not sure if he's entered it into a model show or not. I think he might have entered it into a model competition or at least something to do, at one of the model expos or whatever they are. And somebody had mentioned that he should win all these prizes. And he said, well, no, I'm not going to win anything. You think, well, why? You've made such a good job of that. But like he says in the comments, he's made a good job of it. But even though he's made a very well, very good. Now that's the first time that's ever happened. I've never had one of them pull out before. Well, isn't that clever? Now I've got glue everywhere on it. That's going to have to do something with that. Well, you funny little thing. You've done that to deliberately wind me up, haven't you? And like he says, he's not going to win any competition. He's not going to win anything with it. Even though the model is just stonking model. So as I was saying, if you're building one of these kits for a model and you're going to enter it into a competition, you've got to make a really good job of it. If you want to win anything, a judge would look at this and say, oh, well, actually, mate, parts of it are not too bad. Your rigging's just doing all right. You've done a few little alterations where you've changed from the kit to make it look better. As in not using black rope instead of using grey to represent steel rope. But they would look at those funnels and say, nope, not a chance. You won't win nothing. So you've got to decide, right, why am I building it? Now I'm building it for me, nobody else. Nobody else sees these models. Apart from anybody that's on YouTube that watches the videos, if they like them. I don't get masses of views on YouTube, I'm not. As I say, I think I put too much into the building. We're an hour and 2 minutes in now. And if I was doing this, I don't know, I might have been able to have done some editing somewhere along the line. But I don't know where editing works if you're talking whilst you're building. Because obviously if I edit a bit out where I'm giving a little bit of chat, then that bit is missing. And if it's a part that's done really well, then that means that you like that. That means that bit's been edited out. And I don't think you can edit. I don't know if you can edit your voice out or the talk over. Like they do in a movie, I suppose, where you then go through the editing process. And you edit it as a movie. And so you're able to, whatever they call it, post editing or whatever, where you would be able to do a voiceover different to the one that you're doing now. But then, of course, you then lose what's being said, don't you? So I'm not sure on editing, or whether it's just better to just do the videos as I'm doing. Maybe get a camera and get better videos. But it's just as easy to do it this way, to video this way. And then it's more of a natural video than an edited video. Because then you see all the little ins and outs of where I'm making little, shall we say, cock-ups. And where I'm making little, like where I've just lost my stick. How do I put that? Usually they end up on my arm. I put my cocktail stick. Did anybody see when I put my cocktail stick? If you did, please let me know. There you go. On the bloody thing. So when it comes to the editing, I just don't know. I try to, I mean, I watch my videos back and I think, ooh, that's a bit weird. But then again, I actually enjoy watching my videos back. Don't know why. There's probably a word for that. Don't know what it is, but there's probably a word for it. So the model is mine. I'm not bothered what anybody says about it or what the mistakes are in it. And there are plenty. There are a few. But I remember, many years ago now, the very, very first model I ever bought, wooden model. I've done plenty of plastic models, mostly the Frankenstein monster, the monster kits, if you'll remember them. That's how I started. I got one for my birthday. And from there I went on to airfix and aircraft. But anyway, I digress. I was working in Liverpool when I was living in Liverpool and working, and I built a wooden model of the Cutty Sark. And wooden models were different then. You didn't buy them in one piece. You brought a box with the wooden bits in and then a box with the fitted kit. Now, I had a few pictures of the Cutty Sark. I think I've seen it once. I've not been on it, but I've seen past it. And so I built a really nice model of the Cutty Sark. Or so I thought. Then, because I was working for the Salvation Army at the time, because I was working and building at the same time, everybody could see what I was doing. In fact, people were watching me building at times. And they all thought it was brilliant. And it was. I'd followed all these instructions. I'd found a few bits in these books and how to get some of the bits done. It looked absolutely stunning, so I thought. And then I'd done the bowsprit, however you could pronounce it. And that was, I'd rigged that, fully rigged it. My hands weren't like that then. I'd done some really nice rigging. All those little cabins on the deck, I'd built all them up. I'd started to rig the various masts and now I shouldn't talk, you see, now I've done and knackered that one up. Any markers have glue will not dry. There you go. And I thought it was a really good job of it. And then in the Salvation Army at that time, there was an old chap who used to make whittle boats for people. But he found out I was building this one of the Cutty Sark, so he asked me to see it. He looked at it, and then he pointed out all the things that were wrong with it, all the knots that were wrong, all the rigging that was wrong, how I'd done it, how the bowsprit should have been a bit longer at one point, or a bit higher at some point, and how the mast was slightly off centre. And he made it. He really just, it was so disheartening. I could have easily, well, actually, I did give up on it in the end because unfortunately, the hospital in Liverpool closed down, and I moved from Liverpool to Reading and couldn't transport it to Reading. I gave it to the officers in charge. But this chap had just pulled the whole model apart. Everything that was in it was wrong. The knots, it wasn't just little bits, it was everything. It was all wrong. I thought, well, why do you have to do that? I mean, all right, fair enough, he was a seaman, he knew what he was saying. And fair enough, it was wrong. But the point is, it was mine. I built it. I made a really good job of it. Only to be told, that's not very good. So I just don't bother. I no longer listen to what people say. If people don't like the fact that I've made a pig's ear or something, then that's fine. If people don't like the way that photo H looks on that bit of funnel, and people don't like it. There you go, an hour and a bit and one funnel rigged. So that's now 3 funnels rigged. Now I know that sounds silly doing this, leaving this one out till last. But what I want to do next is probably, I won't do that now in the video, is put these 8 ship's boats in. Although this one has a thing that comes down here, but I don't think it'll interfere with the boat. And then, like I say, I've got these bits, which once, these are strange looking bits. This is, so these are, but they look like fingers, don't they? They will go across here. They go through the thread. I think these originally had they were connected up to the pipework on the funnel. And once again, with the scale of the scale of this, it's not really going to show up very well. So they would go through the railings, not on top of the railings, as I've done that. This is just an example. And they've got to be painted properly white. These have just been undercoated at the moment. So these would go in. And it's typical. When you want to show something, you can't do it. Absolutely unbelievable. See what I mean? Let's just keep dropping it. It's just unreal. It's unreal, isn't it? It's because of how the pieces. It's just a weird looking piece. But you see what I mean about my shaky hands just then. So that will eventually, I mean, that's just a rough idea of what they'll look like. You probably can't see them very well, but that's what they're going to look like. They're going to go across there. So I probably have to paint and fit these first, obviously, before doing anything to that kit. So that's that funnel. I hope you enjoyed that little video with all my little talking. But as you can see down there now, it looks quite good. The funnels are in line. You know, they come out in line. There you go. See a bit better there now. Let's see if I can get you from a bow section. Smooth that out of the way before I break them. Now then, there you go. So as you can see, that looks pretty good. And the funnels are relatively straight, looking nice straight down there. There's nothing wrong with that. And I personally think that looks very good. As I was saying, when you're doing these kits, you've got to decide where it's going to go. Well, for me, it's going to go on a shelf. Let me bear with me. I'll show you where it's going to go on. I've already built a slipway for it. I'm not going to put it on yet. This is the slipway. So the model will sit on that. And this is a floating shelf. It's not going to go in here, it's going to go in the living room. So the model will sit on that. I reckon that will look pretty good. In fact, I reckon it will look brilliant. And I don't care if anybody likes it or doesn't like it. Well, I do. I mean, I do care. I'm not talking about viewers on YouTube. I'm not talking about anybody who's watching me build this. I care what you lot think. I've done it again. You really should be careful. I've squashed that bloody thing now. Oh dear. I just knocked that handrail there. Now this, I don't know, you can probably just make this out. You can see from the handrail here, it's all skew width. nothing I can do about that, unfortunately, because you don't get enough handrail in the kit to repair it. The result of that was because, let's turn that off. The result of that, let's turn that back on. You can't see me now. Right now, let's just turn it round. It's too bright. Now let's turn it off. The result of that was I originally had the kit up here. There's some shelves, and all my tools were on these shelves. It's now got ships on there, the Enterprise, Yamato up there, and a SAR. And I was reaching up for some pair of tweezers. I knocked these down from probably about 4 or 5 feet. No, that's too much, probably about 3.5 feet. Knocked them down, bang, straight on the back. That was before I'd put a lot of stuff on. But the railings, straight on the top of the railings, crushed them. Not a chance. And I couldn't, well, it's repaired to best it can be. So my point is that this model, once it's done, is for my gratification. You know, and if somebody comes in and says, I'm talking here about some expert, I'm not talking about people on YouTube. If some expert comes in now and says, that's a horrible model, you've done it all wrong, this is wrong, that's wrong, that's wrong, this is wrong, that's wrong, don't care. It's my model, and that's what you've got to remember as a model maker. The models you're making are your models. Make them as you see fit. If you want to paint this model pink, yellow and green, then do so. And I've actually seen it painted pink, yeah. I've seen it painted green, and I believe it was green, red, green and white, I believe. I saw somebody paint this model. Don't know why. I've got a feeling it was Italian. Is that the Italian flags? I don't know. I've got a feeling that the person that made the model made it as an Italian model, and decided to paint it in the Italian colours. Well, no problem with that. It's not the Titanic colours, but it's not a problem. If you want to build it that way, build it that way. If you want to paint the funnels sky blue pink, paint them black sky blue pink. It doesn't make any odds. When you look at it, that funnel is very slightly smaller than all the others, although it is raised on a plinth a bit more. So the base, the yellow, looks different. But actually, the funnels themselves, they're sat there. That's not really a very good sample, but you can't really see that, can you? That's this one. So the funnels are there, and once you put something on, they're relatively straight. They're not fantastically super straight, but there you go. If you can see that bubble, it's literally central. So those funnels are in line. So once again, you know, you build as you want, build the model that you want, display it as you want, and don't let other people upset you, and don't be put off by it. When I was building that cutty sock, I could have been so put off and decided, no, that's it, never going to build another model, because of that such negative comments from some old chap who, fair enough, he knew what he was talking about, but that's not the point. Didn't need to say all that kind of stuff. But there you go. There's my bit on the Titanic. I might put some videos up. I won't bother doing another one with that funnel. That funnel's enough to show you what I'm working on. I may possibly put up some videos of the Queen Mary. I've got the hull done on that now, so I might put some videos up of that. I'll see about that one, but I'll try once I get going, maybe, I don't know, 6 months, 8 months time, once I finish that Queen Mary 2, then I might I'll see about trying to get by then some proper cameras and proper editing software, I'll start doing a build log of the hood. Try my best to do it. It makes this thing look tiny. So that's it. Oh, my camera's gone to one side. I hadn't noticed that. So that's it. It's a bit of a long video, but thank you for watching, everybody. If anybody does watch, comments and likes would be much appreciated if anybody fancies doing so. If not, then hope we just enjoyed parts of the video. It's obviously such a long video, you can just skip through bits. But I hope you enjoyed it, watching me make mistakes and messing up the second line. And I'll put another video up whenever I've got the time. It might be a few weeks. So you all enjoy your, if you're like me down here right now, sweltering hot day. I would normally now, 1:15, I would be taking the dog out for a walk. No dogs going out in this weather. Even though I've got woods across me, it's absolutely sweltering here at the moment. I don't even know what the temperature is out there. So I'm now off to have some lunch, then have my afternoon kip, and then I'll come back and see about finishing this. Put the boats on, and then by the end of this week, if it all goes to plan, all going to plan, once the masts are in place, the masts are here, they need sorting, I need to sort them masts out. But once the masts are in, they need a bit of sanding and what have you. But once the masts are in, it's going to look a lot better, and there's a very real possibility I might finish this by the weekend. It'd be nice if I could. 2.5 years, and then it's having a rest for about 2.5 years, put some plastic kits. So bye bye everybody. It's been fun recording. I'm sorry this video has taken so long, but I don't think I can edit it in YouTube. I don't know how to. So no, we'll leave it at that. I'll try and make the next video not as long. But there you go. You can see that now with 3 funnels rigged, how good that's looking. And you can see that the line is far better than black line. And thank you everybody. Enjoy your sweltering hot day. And if you've been down the beach, enjoy your swimming. Good sort of good news.